So tell me, what's the one habit you've tried to start a dozen times but never managed to stick with? Maybe it was waking up earlier, exercising, drinking more water. Whatever it was, you know that the new habit would make your life better, right? But you just haven't been able to stick with it long term. So you try again, you watch the videos, hype yourself up, say you'll commit to it for real this time, and by week 2, you're right back where you started wondering why the hell is it so damn hard to stay consistent? Well, I'll tell you what the problem isn't. It's not a willpower problem, it's a wiring problem. Your brain is designed to resist change, and that's normal. But where it gets interesting is knowing that you can easily bypass that wiring. Now, I want to show you a simple 5-step ritual that you can do in 10 seconds that builds habits faster than anything that you've tried before. Fair warning, you're going to feel pretty ridiculous doing this, but that's kind of the point though. I'm Steve, and I worked as a disaster relief specialist helping people rebuild their lives while depression was slowly tearing mine apart. So I had to spend the better part of 2 decades figuring out how to rewire my brain to put everything back together. Now I share what I learned so you don't have to struggle through it the way that I did. Let's get right into it. I call it the fast track method. 5 steps to do the second you finish any new habit. It's designed to trick your brain into thinking that something is awesome so it wants to do it again, no matter how rough it feels at the start. So let's run through the technique really quick first and then go over why it works. Step 1, say it out loud. The instant you finish the new habit, tap the back of your hand into your palm as you say these exact words. This feels good, let's do it again. Even if it feels like a total lie when you do so. Your brain doesn't know the difference between a real emotion and a fake emotion. It just hears the words and starts wiring the circuit. Step 2, make yourself laugh like you just heard the funniest joke in the world, even if it comes out sounding like a villain's cackle, because laughter triggers a dopamine release. Your brain can't tell if the laugh is genuine or not, it just releases the chemical. And dopamine is how your brain flags something as worth repeating. Step 3, pat yourself on the back. Not figuratively, literally. Reach back and give yourself a couple pats on the shoulder. Physical touch, even self-administered, releases oxytocin, another feel-good chemical that promotes feelings of love, trust, and connection. It makes the new behavior feel safe and rewarding instead of stressful. You're basically telling your body, hey, we just did something hard. Good job, team. Step 4, declare your awesomeness. Point to the sky and then point to your chest as you say, I am amazing. I know it sounds corny, just do it anyways, because this reinforces the new identity that you're building. You're not just forming habits, you're becoming the kind of person who actually craves taking on challenges, which is the real goal in all of this. Step 5, high five yourself. Raise your hand high up in the air and jump up to slap it, like when you were a kid and the adult made you work for that high five. This is the grand finale, one last dopamine hit. Your brain files the whole experience under fun stuff we should definitely do again. And look, you're probably doing this thing alone anyway. Nobody's watching, so who cares if you look like a weirdo for 10 seconds? If somebody does walk on you high-fiving yourself, okay, own that shit. Tell them you're doing sciencey stuff. Okay, speaking of which, let's talk science for a second, because it isn't just me being weird. Your brain operates on a simple principle. Neurons that fire together wire together. Every time you do a behavior and feel good afterwards, your brain strengthens the connection between those two things. This is called neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to rewire itself based on what you do repeatedly. The fast track method works because you're giving your brain an instant reward in the form of dopamine, oxytocin, and positive self-talk. Your brain starts connecting the hard thing to pleasure, not pain, no matter how much it sucked at the time. Most people try to build habits through pure discipline. They white knuckle it and they hope that it'll get easier over time. Sometimes it does, but it takes a while, and most people quit before they get to that point. This shortcuts that entire process. Instead of waiting months for your brain to rewire naturally, you're forcing the rewiring in a fraction of the time. Think of your brain like a trail in the forest. The first time you walk it, you're pushing through branches, tripping over roots, it's rough to travel. But every time you walk it, the path gets easier to follow. Most habits are like walking that trail on foot. You'd have to walk it 100 times before it got easy to follow. But using the fast track method is like driving a bulldozer down that trail. You're carving a deep, wide path in just a few trips, which makes the habit form a lot faster. Before you were using an axe to get the job done, now you're showing up with a chainsaw. Now, I want to be real with you for a second because I know what you're thinking.
Cool concept, Steve, but does it actually work?
Well, for over a decade, I despised working out. Everyone told me the same thing.
You'll feel amazing after. It's such a great stress reliever.
I dragged my ass in the gym and pushed through it. The whole time I'm thinking, this fucking sucks, dude. Why am I doing this? Same with cold showers. The internet's obsessed with them, right? Dopamine, resilience, discipline. Sounds awesome, but every time I try to turn that knob, my brain would just fucking scream at me to stop. And it's because here's what's happening behind the scenes. Your brain has one job: to keep you alive and comfortable. It doesn't give a shit about your goals. It doesn't care about your New Year's resolution or your 90-day transformation plan. It cares about safety and certainty. Anything new, anything uncomfortable, it registers that as a threat. So every time you try to build a new habit, your brain throws up a red flag telling you, nope, too hard. Stay on the couch, we're good here. Which is your brain's way of keeping everything exactly the same. And it's freakishly good at its job. But your brain isn't the enemy. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. You can't fight it with willpower. Willpower runs out. You've already proven that, right? What you can do, however, is speak your brain's language. And your brain's language is simple: patterns and reward. So I started doing the fast track method, and within 2 weeks, I noticed a big difference. After years of dreading workouts, I actually started looking forward to them, which is fucked up when I think about it.
I'm like getting the feeling of coming in the gym. I'm getting the feeling of coming at home. So I'm coming day and night.
Same with cold showers. Now my hand reaches for the knob automatically. The circuit is wired. And funny enough, even knowing that cold submersion after a workout isn't ideal for muscle growth, my hand still reaches for the cold tap after every workout without thinking. I have to actively stop myself, which is kind of insane because everything in me should be trying to avoid that uncomfortable feeling, right? So if it worked for a skeptical, stubborn dude who spent a decade hating exercise and cold showers, it can work for you. I'm absolutely sure of that. All right, so here's your challenge. Pick one habit, not 5, not 3, just one. Maybe it's drinking a glass of water first thing in the morning. Maybe it's 10 minutes of meditation. Maybe it's 10 push-ups before your shower. Pick something small enough that you can't talk yourself out of it. We're building momentum here, not overhauling your entire life on day one. If you're skeptical, start with just 2 steps. Say, this feels good, let's do it again, and fake a laugh. That's it. Do your habit, say the phrase, laugh, done. You don't need all 5 to start, but if you do, it'll wire the circuit a lot faster. And then once that feels normal, usually within a few days, add the 3rd step, and then the 4th, and then the 5th. Do it every single time. If you want the habit to stick fast, don't make this optional. Every time you finish the habit, do this ritual, no exceptions. Even if you're tired, even if you're rushed, even if it feels dumb, especially if it feels dumb, your brain needs repetition to wire that circuit. So embrace the silly. The sillier it feels, the more memorable it is. Memorable equals effective. Your brain is more likely to lock in something unusual or emotionally charged. And after a few weeks, it won't feel silly anymore. It'll just be part of what you do. So every time you use the fast track method, you're telling yourself a story. And that story is that I'm the kind of person who can handle difficult things. And that identity shift is the real prize, because once you believe you're someone who takes on hard things, everything becomes easier, man. The gym, cold showers, tough conversations, the big goals. You're not just rewiring your brain, you're strengthening your entire self-image, one high five at a time. So pick one habit right now. Don't overthink it. Cold shower, 10 push-ups, a 15-minute walk, whatever. Do it today. And when you finish, do the fast track method. Say it, laugh, pat, declare, high five. Yes, you'll feel ridiculous. Do it anyways. If you think you're too lazy for any of this to work, well then go watch the video that's about to pop up on the right of your screen. It'll show you exactly why that's not true. Till next time, keep moving forward.